Man, not gonna lie, I'm about to eat a lot of crow with this one, bro. A lot of crow. Please forgive me for being late again. A bit under the weather. Throat kind of messed up. But game two
Whoa,
of the
hey, yo.
NBA Finals. And it goes down to the wire and not in the way in which you want to happen if you are a San Antonio Spurs fan.
Exactly.
The New York Knicks pull out a nail-biter 105 to 104. And this right here was a roller coaster of events in this game. It was going to be one
But
talking
one thing
point
though,
after
if you watch the game, that end of the game, it was really I don't know who you want to blame in that last situation. Is it Wemby's fault for that turnover, or is it Castle for not turning around? I was watching Low on the live yesterday on the YouTube and blaming Castle. Wemby 7-4. He shouldn't have to bring the ball up court while the clock is winding down, but I guess there was time enough to give it to Castle. Castle can give it back to Wemby, look for a better shot. I don't know how I feel about that one. Wemby could have brought that ball up. He got the rebound. He could have brought that ball up. It wasn't really nowhere around. The clock was winding down. I think it was a different situation. I don't think he had to give it to Castle in that situation. I feel like he was just going too fast. He should have brought the ball up. But Castle, I do see how people feel about Castle. He's the point guard. He should have turned around and tried to grab. I don't know. It's mixed. I don't know.
first two quarters, another one after the third quarter. And in the fourth quarter, it is now just transformed into what I genuinely believe is one of the worst, I want to say like 4 to 5 possession stretch that I've seen from a superstar caliber player in my lifetime, especially someone of the caliber of best in the world talks from Victor Wembanyama. But before we get to that point, just quickly, like I said in the beginning of this game, it was going to be something else in totality. Towns comes out again in the first half, 17 points, 7 rebounds with 3 assists, a steal and a block. He was dominant. He looked great. He was getting to the basket. Again, he looks really, really good. He looks really, really good from the beginning of this game, and he was able to just kind of be impactful, stretch the floor out, knock down a 3. And he's been like the difference maker for this team. As you all can see, as soon as Wemby got off the floor, he was getting to work, getting right by this man, Luke Cornett. Like really, 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 really hooping. And even when Wemby was out there, as you all can see, still aggressive, step back 3, splat.
Nice.
He was out there hooping. So Towns was doing his thing. And while that was happening on the other side in the first half, Wemby got held to 7 points. 7 points, 5 rebounds, with an assist, a steal, 2 blocks, 2 turnovers. Fox had a good stretch of basketball. He scored 12. Castle was the one that was a bit questionable. Wemby got held to 7 points. 7 points, 5 rebounds.
Yeah, 7 points in the first half from Wemby is crazy. For somebody as talented as Wemby, and for you to be 7-4, you can't have 7 points in the first half of the NBA Finals. Like, you're the best player on the team. And people saying the best player in the world, like with your potential, but you can't have 7 points in the first half of the NBA Finals. Like, you can't do that and expect to win. For me, it's just too many outside shots. For me, it's just he just gotta get he gotta get down low. He's very unstoppable down low, and you see it on the defensive end. Like, nobody even wants to drive in the paint with Wemby. Like, he needs to really Wemby needs to play down low. He needs some, like, Kareem post moves. He has no type of post moves. He's, like, nobody really wants to see a 7-4 guard. It's cool that you can dribble and shoot and play the wing, but and you're 7-4, like, your biggest advantage is playing down low. You can dunk without jumping, so you might as well you got to go down low, my boy.
A steal, 2 blocks, 2 turnovers. Fox had a good stretch of basketball. He scored 12. Castle was the one that was a bit questionable. Castle, to me, in that first half, and really in the totality of the game.
Fox had 12. Fox had 12 in the first half and ended the game with 15. That's disgusting.
It's better when he was on the bench in contrast to being on the floor. A lot of the bad decision making from Castle really kind of caught up to him in the Spurs in this game. And on the other side as well, besides Towns, Mikal Bridges, this was the Mikal game. Mikal had 11 points, 4 for 5 from the field, and this is just exclusively in the first half. He goes on in the third quarter and goes on another stretch, but after the first
Bridges
half,
was hooping in the
it
second
was
half.
about to be another, look at how good Towns looks in contrast to Wemby. Towns is the answer. Wemby needs to figure this conundrum out because he's just thoroughly getting outplayed, right? And I'm be honest with you, if you still want to leave this game believing that, it's fine because I think it's accurate. On the timeline after the game, I see a lot of people saying, like, who's going to win Finals MVP? In my opinion, it is very clearly Karl Anthony Towns, outside of a quarter of basketball from Jalen Brunson, which was last game,
gonna
fourth
be
quarter,
Towns
to really seal the game. But outside of that fourth quarter from Jalen Brunson, it has been very clearly Karl Anthony Towns. And to further perpetuate the fact that it has been Towns, I don't know what Jalen Brunson was doing in the second half. I don't know what he got in his mind, because after the first half, even though the game was close, it was 56-52, but they were very clearly winning the minutes that Towns was on the floor. In the 18 minutes Towns was playing, 13, they were a plus 13 in the 18 minutes.
The whole time
he was
the whole time the Spurs were up though. Like, did you guys feel any like the Spurs were going to win though? It just didn't feel like they had full control, even though the scoreboard said they did by them being up, but it didn't really seem like they had that game under control. The Knicks are hooping though. The Knicks are, I feel like them brooms are finna come out. They already brought the brooms out. So it's gonna take, now the Spurs have to win one in New York. New York is finna go crazy, but they got Trump showing up. It's finna mess up everything.
Winning those minutes for whatever reason, Mike Brown, but it felt more like Jalen Brunson decided to just take away the spotlight. And so in the second half, and I've watched the second half now 2 times and watched the fourth quarter in particular another time after that, I have no idea what Jalen Brunson was doing. I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know what he was feeling, what mode he was in. A lot of people are going to point out to that last big shot he made in the fourth. Great shot. But to get away from what was working that entire first half, I have no idea. Brunson in the second half, 4 for 14, bro. 4 for 14.
Tripping.
I don't know what he was doing. He just completely in Towns.
That lets you know how good the Knicks are, and Towns was hooping. 4 for 14 is crazy. But he comes alive in that fourth quarter, though, when it really matters. He hit that shot. You can be 4 for 14, but if you hit the shot that matters, that's all they care about, though, bro.
Second half only took 4 shot attempts. I don't know what Brunson was doing. And to make matters worse, De'Aaron Fox started to get loose on this man Brunson in that second half. If you look, especially late in the fourth quarter, bro, Fox started to just pick on this nigga Brunson over and over and over again. Josh Hart has actually helped this team out by making some of the most idiotic dumb fouls possible, because then it forces Mike Brown to go basically all offense and floor spacing, which then has really been the key on how to beat Wemby and stretch out the floor as much as possible. But yeah, I mean, again, he started to pick on this man Brunson. He dancing on him, step back, pull 3, knock it down. I think it was another one. Here we go again. He goes right at Brunson, had him on the island, attacking him, get to a spot, get to the basket.
Too little.
So Brunson was, I don't know what Brunson was doing. And this was that fourth quarter was a part of a stretch of basketball where the Knicks were falling apart. So even in this game, very similar to last game, the Knicks were up by 14 points in the fourth quarter. And they end up smoking the lead. They end up blowing this lead. And so for a good stretch of this second half, it is genuinely speaking, oh my God, the Knicks found an answer to beat the Spurs. And then for an entire half of basketball, they decided to go away from that and allow Brunson to just ISO it out. And up until that last shot that he made, shot. I don't want to take anything away from him.
And I feel you, though, if Towns is going to work, You gotta just you gotta feed the hot hand. That's what it is. Everybody knows that if you hoop, you gotta feed the hot hand. But man, it's Brunson. Brunson is the star of the team. So when it comes down to it, they're trying to get him back hot. But I do feel you though. Just feed the hot hand.